So there's Mark in front of his Ebe, and over here we've got Steve on the crush. So it's the Orange boys out today representing the squeezy oranges.
Are you trying to get some sponsorship?
Well, I've got an orange top on. You've got an orange top on?
No, but I've got an orange bike, so what now?
Oh, well, there we go. Half a pound of oranges, that'll do.
I'm representing the bottom end of the market.
Finale was an amazing mountain bike trip, so much that it's kind of put a dampener on me wanting to get out here in the UK, especially with the terrible weather we're having. I took 2 mountain bikes out to Italy, my high bike called Mountain 7 and also my traditional bike, the Orange Alpine 6. And while I loved the e-bike, there's no denying that, on this trip the experience for me was all about the Alpine 6. It just felt more enjoyable, more manoeuvrable, it was responsive and just basically fun. 6 hours on average every day of tight, twisty enduro tracks with fast switchbacks and really steep technical drops. The fact that the Orange was a lighter bike really shone here. It was easier to stop on those steep gradients. It was easier to get around the corners and get your knee down and really get that back end out. So in this video I'll show you some of the tracks and trails in this amazing location, all on the Alpine 6. Now I only had 1 day experience out there on the Alpine, but we'll get into that later as I actually damaged the bike.
Beautiful.
Nice beard.
Yeah, cheers,
On
thanks.
your chin.
Yeah. Great trail this, absolutely fantastic. A little bit grimy.
Let's be honest, this bike is not really made for climbing, although we have put an oval chainring on which we will be testing on the channel here in another video. But this bike, as I mentioned in the intro, really, I just loved the downhills on this bike. Now when it comes to tyre pressures, well, I'll put those on the screen, but also when we talk about tyres, it's all about your own preference. I do like my tyres a little bit on the squashy side, but I have got Tanas inserts in there so I can run lower pressures. But no matter what tyre pressure you put in here, this bike was just so much fun.
There's the boss man.
Documenting the day.
Yeah. Loving the Orange.
Lots of dirty bikes.
Yeah, that's how it should be. So we've had 2 punches on the ride. Not me, but the group as a whole. Awesome. Brilliant trail that second half, brilliant. Did you come off? No. We have got mud and we have got water because obviously, as you know, yesterday it was torrential. And if the GoPro footage is too dark today, then we'll just have to talk about it and not actually put the videos together. But so today, for €35, we actually get 6 uplifts, even though it's kind of 1, because we ride down this section, then they pick us up, and then they take us to the next one, and that includes lunch for €15, and they cater to all, you know, if you're vegetarian or whatever, they cater for that as well. So we've got a lot of riding today. And lunch is at 1:15, and then it's however long it takes us to get back down the mountain. Then what the deal is, they then drive you into town so that you can pay for the uplift, and if you pay a little extra, they'll drop you off back where you started. Yeah. So over and all, you're looking at around £45 for the day, for a full day's riding, uplift and some lunch. So you tell me whether you think that's good value. I don't think that's that bad. You're on holiday, just enjoy yourself. That's the end of the first downhill, the first section, and now we're getting bikes back on the trailer here. Turns out the other group have paid, but they lost their instructor. He wasn't very well, so that's why they've tagged along with us. And yeah, brilliant. The second half of that first ride was absolutely fantastic, and this bike made for that terrain. Brilliant. Time to head off for the second one.
What was great about Italy was that there was just so many different types of terrain. It went from loam to rock to shale to slate, down through rocky gullies, a little bit like Potato Alley, cave dale sections. It was just brilliant. Now, one of the benefits of the Alpine 6 is the fact that when it was super steep down shale, it was a lot easier to stop at the bottom. The e-bikes, I noticed as they were going down, the momentum would carry you on, and on some of the turns later on in the video, there was a very sharp left or right at the bottom, and some people were actually overrunning it slightly, and the brakes were just absolutely red hot. You were burning through brakes today, because of course the GoPro doesn't really give you that emphasis of how steep or rough or even how big some of the rocks are. But the Alpine 6 was absolutely brilliant on this trail.
Yes, the GoPro's going to make this look like it's not very steep, but it is very steep. Yeah, lots of brakes on here. Try to feather that front one off it if you have to. Great, fantastic. Oh. That's what I mean, you get carried away with the speed, and because of the angle of the downhill you don't have much time to stop then. Is it this way? Yeah, it's this way. This gives you an idea. I'm not going to record too much of this because I think you get the idea, but brilliant fun. This is just brilliant. This is probably better than the first one. Get that bike over, try and dig it in this loose mulch, this loamy goodness. The bike just wants to absolutely run. It wants to run because it's steep. Loved it. There are some sublime single track routes on this. Obviously I can't record everything, and I haven't got my second camera, but needless to say this one was completely different, a lot more foresty based, loamy and sandy. It's much more enjoyable for me personally anyway, and there is a bit of a climb on this one, but it's a transfer route this to get to the next downhill. Whew.
One of the really strange things about riding in the mountain was that you became acclimatized to the actual temperature, and as you dropped through the forest and got down to the lower part of the mountain, it was like entering a sauna. It was really, really strange, and the temperature drop between the top and the bottom was really, really quite drastic. So you're feeling quite cool and chilled at the top. As soon as you get to the bottom, whoosh, you get hot, you get sweaty, the concentration is a little bit more difficult. And I noticed a few of the riders, we all said the same thing as we got to the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Wow, if you fuck this up, you... Wow.
Oh then.
Oh God. My bloody nuts.
Fuck that.
So they actually class that ride that we've just done as a blue. So take that into account with your riding abilities. I thought that was, I would have said that was red bordering into the next black in a couple of places, but they class that as a blue. Tomorrow's ride on the eve, we're told we're going up another level, which is very technical and steep, and we're told to put body armour on. So that gives you an idea of what's coming tomorrow. A couple of the riders in our group don't want to do it because that was enough for them today, and fair enough. I sometimes feel slightly out of my comfort zone, a little bit too much brake here and there. It's all a learning process, because obviously a lot of the rides that I do here on the channel are more XC based with some nice fast technical downhills, but today's quite savage, and if you're not used to it, it's very hard on the hands, and funnily enough for the arches of my feet. So yeah, tough. So we're going to be breaking for lunch, and I'll show you what we're having, and they do cater for pescatarians, vegetarians, vegans, the lot. And it's 15 euros, and here we are, the beautiful mountains. Remember, we're on the right hand side, and yeah, I'll see you at lunch. See you in a bit.
So I might actually make an effort to set up my rear suspension.
Well, I've got to say the food was excellent. I don't know whether there was a little bit too much. I feel like I'm right fatty now. We were all saying, no more, mamma mia, no more courses. I've just got this bike behind me. I'm loving that gold colour. That gold colour is absolutely awesome. I don't know whether it's going to come out very well on the GoPro, but I really do love that colour. So there we go. It was 17 euros each. Quite a lot of food. Quite enjoyed it. And there we go. Over here we've got Orangina ready to go. Awesome. So this is the third trail of the day, or is it the fourth? The fourth trail of the day, and we're all absolutely full of really nice Italian food, and they just kept bringing it, more and more courses, another course, and you feel like you have to eat it. Because this little old Italian lady came out, "You like the food?" I was like, yeah, and then you kind of got to accept it then.
And that brings us to the end of this video on the Alpine 6 here in Finale Ligure. I may possibly do some more because there was so much riding that I ended up with hours, and I mean hours. There must have been 8 hours of footage for me to go through, and it's just far too much. I just haven't been able to put in enough of the other riders that came with us, so apologies for you all if you were looking for that. Brilliant location. I absolutely love the Alpine 6 here in Finale, even when you're full of, let's face it, the best food and coffee you've probably ever had in your life. Highly, highly recommended if you want to go for this trip. You will find a series of videos here on the channel about how to get over there in a van, and I will be doing some on the actual location we stayed at, and there is some more videos on some of the trails here on the e-bike as well, which I will be doing some more, including the NATO ride as well. But if you've enjoyed this video, you've got any questions about Italy, anything at all about bike setup, travel, holiday, getting abroad with your bike, then leave those in the comments box below, and I shall try and answer every single one of you. But in the meantime, I'll find it, you can ride it. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you in some more Italy videos and some more Finale videos. It's the same thing, idiot. You know what I mean. I'll see you in another video coming real soon. Bye.